Beautiful human family. So we are in a right pickle right now. There is so much happening in the world. A lot of it is very upsetting. Not to mention the fact that the earth is completely screwed from our behaviour, essentially, and our short-sighted thinking and the incentive of profit over everything else. It seems that the global health pandemic that we're going through too has got dubious motives at best. It seems like the coronavirus isn't anywhere near as dangerous as people are making out, and that lockdown has been far more detrimental to people's health and well-being than this virus ever was going to be. Scary that so many people are going for this vaccine when they don't need it, when overwhelmingly the science suggests that lockdowns don't help and that asymptomatic people do not shed virus. And I've heard it said countless times now by experts in their field. The first time I heard this was about a year ago on BBC Radio 4. A professor of epidemiology working at Oxford University, working on the vaccine, said that one of the suppositions that they had at the beginning was that asymptomatic people shed virus and were contagious, but that was disproved, and that was a year ago, yet we still continued with these lockdowns. And I heard another person say it at one point as well, mainstream, high profile, can't remember who it was now, and yet it still never seemed to filter through to the masses, that information. Also that children aren't susceptible to it. Even only the very sickest people, or maybe perhaps obese people that were younger, seemed prone to this illness. And yet we've managed to completely destroy our economy, destroy people's lives, and now we're using experimental drugs on young people that don't even need it. And people can argue with me all they want, but I've been looking at all this for a long time, and the people that are in the know and that really know what they're talking about are saying this. And then you hear people on the politicians on the telly saying something different. Who am I going to believe? I'm going to believe the people that, for a start, have nothing to gain from saying what they're saying. You've got to look at where their money is and who's gaining from all this. The pharmaceutical companies, it's their wet dream. Oh, they're loving it. They finally hoodwinked us all into getting the whole world to sign up to their vaccines. And God knows what it's going to do in the long run. I'm really worried for people. Well, I try not to worry, meditate through it all, and, each to their own. But I do feel to speak out now. It's really important. Lots happened in my life this year. Within a week, I lost my beautiful dog, Samson, to a train. I had to bury him in the back garden. A few days later, my dad died. I was sitting with him at his deathbed for 3 days while he died. And then I had to rush home for my wife to give birth to my daughter, Flora, which was a great relief, but it was the most crazy, insane 8 days of my life, and I've only just kind of recovered and come to my senses. And I'm feeling to make videos now, and I'd like to get involved with other people that are making videos, so I can start doing some funky graphics and cut in other bits of information and evidence that I've gleaned. So if anyone's interested in working with me to make some amazing, empowering videos that inform and inspire people, then that would be fantastic. So the other thing that's going on at the moment, which has finally made proper headline news, although it does intermittently, but it seems like people are finally waking up to the truth, is that if we continue in the way we are, we might not have a planet to live on by the end of the century. And I feel for my kids. I've got 4 kids now, and a grandchild on the way. And I think it's, it's about bloody time that we had a serious change to the way that we live on this planet. Serious turnaround. Everything we do at the moment seems to be damaging for people in every aspect. The economy, the judicial system, our educational system, our medical system. I can't think of anything that we're not doing wrong right now. So I'd really like to help, to inspire, to push forwards the new way of doing things, living more locally, reintroducing more biodiversity, creating real community support networks for people, creating nice places for people to live. Like, one of my big thoughts that's been going through my head a lot, and funnily enough, up to lockdown, the first lockdown, I was going on a lot about, like, how do we get ourselves in this situation where, like, most people live on the main roads. I live on a main road now, so I know what it's like. And everywhere I go, I see houses on the main road. And I think, crikey, back in the day, there would have been a horse and carts trundling by and walking people. And it would have been really nice to live on the road, to be part of the community, to have people coming by, be able to sit out in your front garden and talk to people as they go by, and a very social kind of place. It made sense to live on the road. It means you had easy access to resources. And yet now, the way that things are developed, the road out there is dangerous, it's polluting, it's destroyed our community of Crossgates. There used to be lots of shops here and a little high street. There was a baker's and a post office and a pub and a coach house, a cobbler's, a sweet shop. You know, I don't know what else was here. The pub, another pub down the road that was a hotel. All of that's gone now, and all we've got is a Texaco petrol station that sells poison, essentially. You know, it's polluting our environment through the petrol and the diesel it sells, and the runoff from that and the surrounding area. And all the food in there is rubbish, and it's no good for any of us. So we've got to this situation now where most people are living in dangerous, polluting places with deathly machines running between them and their neighbours, where the kids can't go out safely to play. You know, we need to, like, really look at this, people, wake up and go, oh, wait a minute, maybe we've gone a bit wrong somewhere. Maybe we should start re-engineering our towns and our villages, and reducing the need for more vehicles on the road, and putting serious thought into how we can, you know, start making steps back in the right direction, because these things don't seem to be spoken about. The lights outside, the LED lights, drive me insane. They're bright LED lights that shine all night. I go out into my back garden, there's no darkness. We need melatonin to be well. So a hormone, melatonin, is produced when we have darkness, the pineal gland, funnily enough, associated with spirituality and the psychic connections and things, creates this melatonin, which is part of our immune system. And with darkness, that hormone is allowed to flow around and heal us. And there's so much brightness in people's lives at the moment, so much light all the time, the smartphones in bed, that people don't realise what they're doing to their health through that, creating the cortisol. Too much cortisol, not enough melatonin. Cortisol's related to stress and the adrenal glands. Okay, I'm resuming, sorry, my partner Nancy just came in and I paused it, but it seems to have worked. So yeah, key things like this, like the knowledge of melatonin and cortisol. The fact that if people knew that, then those LED lights wouldn't be on that bright all night for all the residents of our community. And fair enough, it's a trunk road, and so it's got to be safe, but there are no cars going down there at that time. There's nobody walking. I mean, crikey. I need to write a letter to the council. I haven't done that yet, so I won't bitch too much about it. Just the fact that it's happening in the first place, because people have no understanding of these things. So yeah, lots of things that are frustrating at the moment. And I've kind of buried my head in the sand with it a little bit lately. I've just knuckled down and got on with my own thing, with my own family, through the frustrations I have with humanity. And but I'm back on it now, and I really want to start making some decent videos. I'm good at speaking, I've got a good wealth of information and a lot of things that I can give to help people. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now. But I hope you like this video. If you like it, give a thumbs up, share it, and I'll do plenty more. And I've got any questions you have about things. I've got a wealth of information about spiritual practice, about forest management and gardening and horticulture, and I've got lots of plans and ideas to help the world and our people. And we need to start getting it together locally. We can't change the whole world, but we can change things in our local area. And then through our actions, we can inspire other communities to do the same. So if anyone is local to here, I live in Landrindod Wells in Wales, please get in touch with me. I'm not interested in getting too angry about it. I want to look at the proactive things that we can do together in peace and harmony and love And yeah, sure, there's sometimes we need to get angry and shout a little bit, but generally it doesn't help. The best way is to hear people, is to communicate, break down the barriers we have, the polarization of our beliefs through the filter bubbles that we inhabit. We need to start breaking them down, meeting people that have a different opinion, but still we're looking for the same thing. At the end of the day, we all want peace for our families, for ourselves. We want jobs. We want a healthy environment to live in. And right now, humanity is just such, it's so depressing, really, looking at the state of the world through a media lens right now. I'm so glad for Kaipacha, who's an online astrologer who runs New Paradigm Astrology. He keeps me sane once a week. I love Russell Brand, what he's doing. He's fantastic. So there are other media outlets out there. There's an awful lot of crap and a lot of misinformation. So be careful who you listen to. Be careful who you give your energy to. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff to be hopeful for and plenty of good stuff going on. Turn off the bloody telly. If it's upsetting you anyway, I'll watch it just to see what's going on. But quite often just think, it can't be us. I can't handle this at the moment. I don't want to look at it because it's just too depressing most of the time. So look after yourselves, and sending you all much love and the best to you and yours. And I hope that you're all happy and well, and that you can find some sense of comfort in hearing some sanity, because I know I love hearing people speaking truth. Bless you. Lots of love.